Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new project announcement video. And for this video, we will be discussing a brand new project that I am starting, which is a 3D action adventure RPG for the PC. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you probably could tell by the title, the project at hand is called Project Crystal Dawn. Project Crystal Dawn is basically a 3D RPG that's going to be made basically for the PC in Unity engine, and it will be featuring a bunch of different things including a story, combat systems, it's going to have basic survival and sandbox modes alongside procedurally generated terrain, and it's going to feature a very rich story. So the main idea of Crystal Dawn is that after a traumatic car accident, you are left in a coma, and inside of this coma, what's going to be happening is that you are actually going to be introduced to a brand new world, which is completely within inside of your mind. This world is Crystal Dawn, obviously, and is basically going to be generated as a 3D landscape that is completely randomly generated. This means that for each playthrough of the game, you can have completely different results, and you can have completely different ways that things work. Of course, there's going to be a few things that are mandated and always have to spawn due to the fact that there is a central story to the game, but it allows for a lot of variability and customizability into this game as well. This 3D world is going to be basically encapsulated within inside of a crystal dome, which is going to be surrounding the entire thing. It is raised into the sky and it is raised above the main land. Time, days, nights, everything are still the same as you would expect. However, you are inside a completely different fantasy world. So the main objective of Crystal Dawn is basically to break out and escape from this landscape in order to be able to go back to the real world. That, of course, introduces a few mechanics into the game that are basically core to the entire gameplay. So you have a real-life health and you have an in-game health. The real-life health is technically hidden and you will not be able to actually tell. So the longer that you're in the coma, your real-life health starts to deteriorate and decrease, and you'll be noticing this in-game as both a perceived heightened difficulty alongside the fact that the world will slowly become more and more random, chaotic, and basically it will become a lot more corrupted. Now this is over a longer scope of time. It's going to be several hours at least in order to be able to have a full gameplay experience. Time in this game is a very important concept, and as time goes on, so in the game, if you actually die in the world, you're actually going to still continue and have lost all of that time. You're going to be reset to a point that's basically either an autosave point, or it's going to be the last time you slept in a bed or something like that. This means that you have a finite amount of time to actually play this game before the world either ends because you die in real life, or because you escape the world. In either way, the ending of the world results in the deletion of your save file, so it means that you're not going to be able to go back once you've basically escaped the world. Upon completion of the game, I probably want to add a few other things like a sandbox mode and things like that where you can continue to basically work and play in this world for as long as you want without having the threat of dying. Now let's talk a little bit more about this world. So this world, obviously, I told you was procedurally generated, but it's also going to have quite a few different things inside of it as well. It's going to have a pretty unique combat system, I believe, that's going to rely a lot more on like your actual timing and precision and skills than it is actually going to be on basically what items and things that you have. Basically, a very skilled opponent with a weaker weapon can still win a fight in a very dramatic fashion, compared to someone who has a much stronger weapon but is very inexperienced or is not very skillful at the game. Furthermore, I do want to add a multiplayer mode to this, but that will be for basically the sandbox mode of the game. So inside the game you have some basic needs, of course. You have health, hunger, and thirst, and you're going to have basic abilities to craft and be able to build your own structures. In this manner, you can actually start building your own structures, communities, towns, and things like that. Whatever you want to be and want to do in this game, you can do it. However, of course, there always is a main story arc, and everything has to come to an end at some point. There's also a secondary story arc, which is basically not really part of the main story. It's basically all the side quests and everything like that. And side quests and things like that are also completely randomly generated from game to game as well, meaning that no matter how many times you play the game, you can always experience new events. So in this sense, the game has a lot of replay value, and it has a lot of creative value as well, where you can do whatever you want to. Now, this project is going to be a rather long-term project, as I've kind of outlined right there, and I'm expecting to either have it in 2021 or 2022, depending on how quickly development goes. I don't have any sense of scale for this project whatsoever as compared to Stardust Engine, as I have begun some work on it, and I know the overall development process of the engine. So I wonder what your thoughts are, so please leave some in the comments below, and thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.